not hard, it's very time consuming. That's the different. That's the main problem with creating too much choice, and it's always is. It's a mathematical formula. If you imagine that you start with a tree of 3 choices, and you give at the end of each of these choices another 2, then you end up with 6, and you have to come out with different outcomes for it, and you have to decide what kind of severity of those choices, how impactful they will be. As long as it is, for example, building relations or creating a different, smaller impacts, I can do this by switching simple different description and affecting the relation. I inform the player by stating that something has changed, that the status of his reputation, his relation has changed, and the dialogue differs slightly. But sometimes you make bigger choices, and you start by doing them very early, and they lead on to a bigger turn at the end, of course. The main problem with creating a different, apart from time, different choices is to remember about them, to not forget them, to implement them, the resolution at some point of this of the story. Okay, you can cheat out of some ways of some decisions by using the story, because the choices the player will make will be foreshadowing for the events that will happen. So, for example, if he's gonna decide that he likes Nina, I have to remember about it. And he has to do this once, do this 2. Sometimes Nina will irritate player or will be irritated by player. The relation has to change. And then at the end of our chapter 2, this makes a difference. And this makes a big difference, actually. And the choices the player makes are the serve the purpose of foreshadowing of what will happen. So the difficulty is most of the time, the most problematic thing is to have time to write a different outcome for every choice, and if it is implemented, then you need to figure out how to make the choice always have some impact on the story or the character. The choice always has to change something. If you do not implement it, it's a problem. I think in Fallout 4, I think, yeah, Fallout 4 was quite infamous about it, because every choice that you made always led to the same outcome. You have to create outcomes, and it doesn't have to be at the exact moment, because we are not, again, in a typical role-playing game. We do not have to rely on the moment, because we are creating a kind of a story, right? There's a second.